Right.
I'll show you both. Okay, present window. This one. Okay. So this is our dev server, so it's very colorful. So this is the ticketing, the different ticketing elements I've built that's kind of rough. So essentially this would not require you to log in. We did that because we didn't want to create a barrier for people who are like visiting for the first time and things like that. Even though we'd love to collect their information, we want this to be really easy, just like walking in the church door. So
real quick, just to clarify this, because I want to validate where we are. We're in your dev site, and this is for the admin, rock admin. Is this for rock people, or is this for?
These pieces would live on your front-facing website or on a form somewhere. These are right now, they are hidden in the admin stuff just because I'm building it. It's in development. So so right here, you see this 1, 2, 3 with the sign up and event full.
Yeah.
This would be somewhere on a web page, right? So this is feeding off of the event registration and testing the capacities. So the 1 o'clock and the 2 o'clock are already full. But if you were to click the sign up button, it would take you to a page that has this form. And all this is tell us how many people are coming with you. So if I say there's 4 people coming with me and I hit submit, it says you've successfully purchased your tickets, and then it's going to send an email with your generated, you're going to get 4 MON passes. So that's all that does. And then in the back end, what it's doing on the event registration, which one did I click? 3 o'clock. Well, so on the back end, all it does is add those people in here. And if they didn't log in, we have a person called random reg that they get assigned to. So you'll see this had a capacity of 6 for Thursday at 7 p.m. And so their registrations are all in here. If they were logged in, we would see who they were. So when I'm logged in, it logs me as the person. So let me show you the clean blood drive version that we just finished yesterday. So this is the same concept, but it does a little bit more. So can you see this?
Yeah.
Pampa Dalhart. Okay. So this is the same idea. So for the blood drive, we have a slot every hour that has a capacity of 12. So if you click on one of these, it takes you to a form that, okay, must be messing with it. Try one of these ones. Hang on. Why can't I see my admin bar? Oh, hang on one sec. Oh. Maybe. What? Goodness gracious. There we go. Okay, that block must have security on it, but it asks 3 questions because the blood drive, all they need to know is who's coming and their phone number in case they don't show up or we need to contact them, because when they get there, they're going to fill out more information. So it autofills if you're logged in. If you're not, then you can fill it out. You hit reserve. And then in our rock instance, in event registration, that was Pampa at 1 o'clock. It just added me in there. And so once there's 12 people, it would event full on that page. So, and when I click in on this, so there's 3 fields. Just to explain this, let me go to a different tab on the registration. Will make more sense. So if someone's not logged in, this actually is not going to build out a person in Rock, because again, we want to make this really easy and clean. And so what it does is it would have random reg here, and then the attributes, which is not showing, first name, last name, and phone number. So you could still pull an Excel sheet to see everyone and their phone numbers, but it doesn't build out the people in your database because we didn't want all that data confusion. Especially with a blood drive, you're going to have people from outside in the community who don't want to be contacted by your church and just want to donate blood. So nice.
That makes sense.
But it's super, this is what I built is a little tricksy, but it accomplishes a lot. So I can't figure out.
So how would you envision that if if you had registered, if you fill this thing out with this ticketing, then you get a QR code. How does that come into play? How would you do that?
Yeah, so the Mime Pass, which is in here, the way to, well, right now my demo is using my little fake Mime Pass, but the workflow generates, Morgan Plantapalooza is the one I'm using for this. So it generates a Mime Pass through the workflow, and it sends that in an email to them. So this is, let's see. Is it going to show in my screen share? Probably. Can you see that? Did it pop up?
No.
Okay, well, you can't see it. So it just comes in the email with a file that you download and it goes into your Apple Wallet. Or if you're on an Android, it goes into the Wallet app, I think. But
so how did you you generated the Mind Pass right there? You generated whatever it is. Would we make one for each service? Would we make one for each gathering? Is that how that would work?
Well, yeah. So you can put expire dates and times on the Mind Pass. So go back to the Mime Pass template. On the Mime Pass, you would set up relevance fields, relevant dates and expiration dates. So if your service was at whatever, or even like, anyways, okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, so you would set it up to expire. So you would set them up for the day of, and then you would limit it so that only 12 could get generated, which would be done in your workflow. So like if there were 12 spots or 50 spots, you would limit it so only 50 could get generated, which you're going to do.
So then you're not using event registrations. You'd use a form to curate who's coming and then distribute the QR code?
No, I would use event registration because this is how you're going to handle the capacity itself.
Okay.
So workflow would test for that. And then once you've hit the capacity, there will be no way to generate that Mime Pass anymore for that specific event.
Does Mime Pass work with, so do you have to go, I mean, just think about this on the basic level. Do I go make an event template, right? I have to make an event template. Do I connect Mime Pass to my event template so I can start making instances?
No. So all you would do is in the workflow where they're getting their tickets, that first form where they select the quantity, the workflow, you would just add in the like confirmation email they get, the lava that generates the Mime Pass for them.
And so then am I just assigning that workflow to my event template?
No. So
maybe I'm so the first thing I would do is I would go to Mime Pass and the first thing I do is build the workflow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so I've got this workflow built and you're connecting Mime Pass to this workflow.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. So then now I need to go create an event registration to go sign people up to go tell us that they want to come to this 50 space worship gathering. Do I have to connect the workflow somehow to the event?
Yeah. So the workflow it builds out their registration. So they never the public is never going to touch your event registration. It's only being used by the workflow. So the workflow right here builds out their registration. That way you can ask them super basic questions like how many people are coming? And then the workflow is going to build how many people on that registration. Does that make sense?
So then you've got that right there. Are you putting that on a page somewhere? Is that what your page was? Sign up, sign up, sign up?
This page was all just some fancy lava. So this block right here, which is where you would have them click to sign up, is just testing those event registrations for capacity. To see
it's just like what you did for the Hello Grace Church form.
Yeah. Okay. And like this one up here is just lava looking at the registration display stuff. And this is a workflow entry. So this, like I said, they never touch the registration themselves. That's only the capacities. And
so if I got the Mime Pass and I got the QR readers, if we decided we want to do QR readers or even let's just say QR readers right now, then all I would really need, I could we could hire you just to add the workflow to our database. And then we could work through the process of getting that ready so that we could create these sign up opportunities.
Yeah.
And then, so for us, if we wanted to do touchless, we could use the QR code gun and they could just check in. Or if we wanted to use a check-in system and we wanted them to bypass, you're saying that you've just made something with Rock that is what? Is it
I'm not sure if it's publicly available yet. So Rock rewrote their check-in app for iPads. So it's specifically for iPads. So iPads, you don't have to have a QR scanner. That was our thing. We didn't want to buy all the extra equipment because we are switching to all our kiosks being iPads. So the check-in app uses the native camera on the iPad to scan the QR code from their phone. And they can do it from like 3 feet away. It's pretty cool. So they would just walk up and every family would get a custom generated code that they could go to our website and get off of a web page. So they'd sign in and get their code and then walk up to our kiosk and scan, and then they're checked in and it prints their kids' name tags.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'll tell the team today that I talked to you about it a little bit, and we'll see if we need to have another discussion. Okay, cool. Can we talk about a couple other things just to chat? Okay, first thing I want to talk about is, drum roll. Okay, let's talk about the volunteer applications.
Okay.
And let's talk about the ones that you made for GCK. So I got an email, I got a project, and I guess I could just add you to this project. Let me, so you can read with me, Morgan Woods. Okay, I just messaged you through the project, so you should have it in your inbox.
Cool.
But what's happening is this lady said she was working through the connection as a requester to volunteer in GCK. She was just testing it out. And she got sent the volunteer application and plugged in the email for the references. And when she received and opened the GCK reference form, it was the same as the volunteer form. And she was like, is that correct? And I wanted to say yes. I was kind of confused a bit. I said, I'm not sure what you're asking. The GCK adult volunteer application has a section that asks for references. And that is how we're asked to build the form. I see your record that you answered. She answered them and it populated her name and email as the references. She was testing it, right? But then she said, I filled out the volunteer application. And when I got to references, I just filled in my own contact information. So no one else would receive an email. After pressing submit, I received the GCK reference form to complete since I said it was my own reference. When I clicked the reference form, it just took me to the exact same volunteer application, just titled GCK reference instead.
Okay.
So it had all the exact same questions as the volunteer app for the reference to fill out. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure those two forms were supposed to be the same, or if something went wrong.
So is this the GCK Mosaic, adult, or student? Which application is this? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it would be the GCK adult volunteer. So I'm going to go to serving opportunities. I'm going to go to children's ministry. Let me go find one. Molly Vegas. So there is the GCK adult volunteer application, WKF number 1.
Okay.
So when I click that, and right click to just copy to go look at this workflow, it has all the stuff on it. It's great. It does everything. Reference. And I see that. It's all good. This is perfect. So this is the same form. They're all, the adult application, I think, is the same as the Mosaic. I'm not worried about that. But what I'm asking is the references. When she gets the references, it made it seem like she got another email as a reference to do something. Was the workflow doing that?
Yeah. Okay. So it actually, she's right. There is an issue with that. Okay. So I just fixed it. So what happens in that workflow is after they submit who their references are, it then sends the reference forms to those references. That page is set up, the page that she was linked to says GCK reference on the top, but for some reason it was pulling in the actual application. So I just changed it to pull the reference. So now that should work correctly.
Okay, great. Does that need to happen too for the student application? And
it shouldn't. I'll go double check them right now.
If we could just look, just in case.
Because I think since I changed it on the page, all the workflows that send the references to that page will now work correctly. Yeah, it is all good for the other ones. Well, let me just check Mosaic. It's good for students. How's it going? Launch references. Okay, yeah, it is good for all of them now.
Okay, great. Awesome. Let me look at one other thing because I just wanted to look at this. Student application. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. I just wanted to make sure. Let me respond to her real quick.
Oh my gosh. My dog sprained her toe, and so we can't go exercise. So she's being extra annoying these days because she's got all the energy. So sorry.
Love it. So the reference form, when someone fills out the reference form, if Dindy had put me as her reference and I got that,
yes.
Can you show me what that looks like? Is there a quick, easy way to show me?
Yeah, I was just on that page. Let me go back to my history.
And okay. Tell me where to go to. Do I need to go to general settings or?
Well, so it's on a web page. I'll send you the link to it.
Yeah, if you just want to show it to me.
Okay. Do you see the?
Yep.
So it's this form, which was copied from whatever you guys have been using before. So this would autofill. I don't think I'm logged in.
But if she had put your name in, your name would have been in there.
So it won't autofill this piece, but what it is doing is it does, well, this is it, but the link that they click out of that email will have the connection request ID in the URL. So everything that they fill out here is going to get passed back to the connection request that this all originated from.
And so then that data, where does that data live? Does that live in activities?
Yeah, it'll go in activities. So on a connection, yeah, it would be logged as I think there's a specific activity, and then it puts all the details in the notes. So like for what would this be, like children's ministry, right? That's what this is.
That's right. That's where it is.
So if I click on one of these, it would add the activity reference received. So this activity would have all the notes in this field added onto the connection once they hit submit. So you would see all the details right there.
Okay, good. Okay, let me write that note down.
Yeah. And then if you ever needed to like look at them, like look at all the references or one was missing, or they live in their own workflow. So under applications, there's this GCK reference form workflow, and will have all of them in the details here. So you would be able to click in and see all of these ones must not have been completed, but if you look at a completed one, it would have all the details in it.
Perfect. Okay, great. All right. The Hello Grace thing, we got that finished. That's done. Mm-hmm. Okay, we have okay, so let's talk about a background check issue that we're having, and I don't know, maybe I'm gonna butcher this at first because it's been like a week since we've talked about it. So let me go to a person's record. I'm going to go to Morgan Wood's record, and there is a workflow called background check at the actions, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know what workflow that is, but I want to say that is different than what's being pulled from the Morgan was baptized. I'm not sorry. No, I told you I was going to butcher myself talking about this background check, and then the background check icon. I think there's two different places that we're seeing things. So let's go to, oh crap, let me go to my notes. Just give me a second. I knew I was going to butcher this. Background. Oh, I got stuck with this one. Created data views and reports to show. Okay, so this link created data views and report to show expired background checks. Let's discuss background check questions today. Okay, so let me go click on that link real quick. So for some reason, oh, this is another place that I'm just not seeing. Let me pray real quick. All right. Let me just ask you this. Where do you find all the background checks that are going to expire? There's the safety and security background checks about to expire. Okay, that's that one, which makes sense. But there's another place where there are background things that we were testing a while back ago. And I don't think it's a report. It might be, Morgan, I'm so sorry.
So are you looking for like all the background checks that you've run? Like you want to see just a...
Yeah. Where's that? Maybe you could open up your screens and show me, because I think what's happening is we've got two places that are holding background checks. Well, originally we were testing with the I don't remember the first one, but then we're doing Checkr now. And so we're just, this page seems to be different from another page, and we're messed up with what we're reading.
This is just the workflow. So it doesn't look like the other background check workflow you guys haven't used, or you used it twice, but then you switched to Checkr, which is this one. So if you click this little button, that's where you can see all of the requests that have expired, that are waiting for the result to come back. Initial entry means they clicked it, but they never actually filled it out. So those are just sitting there. But this one, so you can see here, and who submitted it's here, and who they submitted it for is this column. So,
and where is that?
This is in workflows. So in workflow configuration, refresh, stop spinning, under the safety and security folder, you can see those.
Under background check. And I click on the background check one and put manage workflows, and that's where we see them all.
Yeah. And so that data view that you sent me, that's only going to show you background checks that are
expired.
Right.
Getting ready to expire.
This one, background checks still valid. This will show you a list of all the current background checks you have that are not expired. And it's going to spin because it's probably a very large report. Yep. Oh, it's taking its time. There it goes. So this will show you all the 8,498 people you have background checks for. So it's not connected to a report, but you could create a report for it that shows you like when they were background checked and all that good stuff.
All right, let me do something real quick. Let me text Marissa. I don't understand what she wants. I'm on a web call with Morgan, I'm trying to think about what we've got to talk about with background checks, and I'm still confused. Do you want to jump on this real quick? Question mark, text me if you want to get on. Okay, let me leave that there for a minute and see if she gets back with us, and I'll ask you something else. Okay, this was something that was, let's talk a little bit about the event registrations. I'm using the event registration form. It's super helpful. I've been able to create a couple templates from it. But I just want to validate, I've had a couple issues with things that just have been kind of difficult for me to figure out how to manage.
Okay.
So what we're telling our Comm team, what we're trying to do is we're trying to push everybody to event registration form to fill out so that they can have attendance, that they can have all those things, that we can kind of keep things funneled well. And then as those things get finished, we'll put the template in event registration wizard, and then give our ROC admins and other our campus admins ability to do this, okay, to do their own event registrations. The challenge that I'm having though is that so I did that the other day with, let's go to event templates. Let me go to one real quick so that I can speak the same language with. Okay, let's look at this one. So let's look at this. So what I originally did for the event registration form, it goes to Kirby on our comm team so that she can know when it's going to be, when the event's going to take place, what room it's going to be in, and all that stuff. Okay. However, what I didn't think about is that when now people go into the event registration, the event wizard, and they fill out the event wizard, there's nowhere on this registration instance page that references when the event actually is. Like it says when the registration starts and when the registration ends and the send reminder date, but it doesn't actually say when this actually is other than in the title when I put August 2020. Mm-hmm. There's nothing here for room. How do I work with that? Because I'm commissioning my campus admins and all my other admin staff that once they start using the wizard, they would fill out this whole wizard. They're going to get the link for the instance in the group, and then they need to go fill out a comm request, which is what they've been doing in the past, to go say, hey, listen, this is where this event is. This is some information. So we're trying to figure out what do they need to not tell again to Comm, right? Mm-hmm. So that they don't have to repeat the same stuff that they just did. So how would you suggest me coaching in regards to that?
So are they building out?
Let's go to Grace Church and let me show you what's happening. Okay. So we got to, and this is the problem with having a website that is not a Rock website, but what am I going to do? So Grace Church, men's roundtable. Let's go just Google that real quick. Roundtable. Okay. So see this link that I just shared with you.
Okay. Copy. Okay.
So what our staff have been doing is they fill out this comm request, which is this long, lengthy form that says all of the same information that the event wizard pulls for them. It's right. The same exact information. So once they fill out this form, then the Kirby knows that it's Monday, May 4th at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. And then she puts this little statement here because she knows what all the statements are for all the events. Mm-hmm. So what's going to end up happening is our staff, like I'm trying to help them so that they don't have to re-input this same information again and again and again, because before they even do it with Comm, they're having to fill out something in eSpace to get the room, right? So this is like, they're filling in eSpace, they're coming here, they're filling this out for a comm request, and then they're going into Rock. They would have to go into Rock. So I'm trying to make that whole process seamless, which would be the event registration form. That's how that would work. But I don't want to make the event registration form the only way to get an event done, because if I will be a bottleneck, my team will be a bottleneck, and I do not want to do that. So that's why I thought I'd put the event wizard out there, which does all of that stuff. And then when it's finished, they can just go do their comm request and so forth. So what the comm team is wanting to know is, how do I, if all the staff have to do is give them the instance link, mm-hmm. and they go click on that instance, the one that I had just shown you, then they would have all of that information. However, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy cow, they don't have all that information. It doesn't show when the event actually is. It doesn't show the location, even though we curated it from the event wizard.
Right. So if they are building out with the event wizard the calendar item, it would have all of that in the linkages tab on the instance. Does that make sense? So when you click on, let me click on that one that you sent me.
The instance?
Yeah. So Oh gosh, dang it! Why did it log me out?
And if you don't mind showing me your screen so I can see what you're seeing.
Over here and present. Okay, so because it's connected to the calendar on the registration instance, this linkages tab would have the calendar item, which has those details. So, well, it didn't link to the right page. It's probably the same page issue, but if it linked to the right page, let's see, calendar item. I think it's supposed to be event occurrence page. Yeah. It would have all the deets. Linkages. Anderson. Huh? It should. Does that one not have a, hang on.
Well, that's using the rock calendar, which sometimes I get super confused. I need to have a total conversation with Tina about this because, like in that case, we just used the.
Oops. Calendars. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where that went.
It would have been the rock calendar.
It's under Anderson. Oh, I guess it didn't. Did they not set that one up with the start date? Oh, but I mean,
well, maybe that would have been a test that we had done. So, yeah. in this one, if we had gone through the event wizard, maybe let's do one in the event wizard real quick.
This is what that page would have looked like. It wouldn't have shown me the edit like it did, and you would have the deets right here. So you would have the location and the schedule and all the information that your comms team needs, right?
That's awesome, and that doesn't matter what calendar I'm using.
No, it doesn't matter what calendar you're using. Let me go make sure. So this might, though, be the same issue we had. I'm just going to go to my history tab. It'll be easier. So that block, if this is a copied page, if you go to the settings on this block, you just need to make sure this calendar page is set up correctly. Remember how we had that before?
Hold on. Let me go to specialized. Would I go to the event wizard?
I think this one's, well, actually, this is just under event templates. So you only copied that once. So I might have fixed that one.
Because if I was to, so you just changed that setting on the event templates block.
Yeah.
Not on the event wizards block.
Yeah, on this page. So when you click into an instance, it's on this page. And I don't think you have any copies of that. Because it's set everywhere. So I think you should be all right now.
Okay, so let me refresh this page and then go to linkages and then click on Anderson. Okay, so for this one in particular, there's no contact information on this one. Maybe that one's because I did a test.
Could be, yeah.
So then I need to go test this by, let's see, which one that I just did. I just did let's go to event templates because I just did this. Let's go for event templates. Let's go to specialized event templates. Let's go to re-engage. Let's go to closed group template because I just made this. And let's go to the re-engage Hodgkins closed group. Okay, so I'm looking at this. If I click on linkages and then click Pelham, yeah, it's still not showing anything there. So what would we have done wrong?
No, yeah, why is it linking weird? Let me pull up. This is what I always do when stuff is funky. Just check the demo to see what page needs to be set there. Is that this block? Oh, no, that's not going to work. Because this is 11, I think, now. I have to check down here. Okay. Oh, it is event detail, not event occurrence. Maybe I had it wrong. All right.
So I need to look at the page that is the registration instance and click on that block?
Yeah.
And the calendar item page needs to say event
detail.
Okay, I'll do that real quick.
Lives under event calendar. So it's one, I think I had gone one too deep. So it's Event detail, not event occurrence.
And that's for calendar item page.
Yes.
Okay, I hit save, refresh, hit linkages, hit Pelham. And what it's doing is it's showing everything.
It's not like a specific one. Okay. That's very weird. Because all you need is for them to get to be able to quickly link into that.
Yeah, just so that she can see where is the room, because she's putting that on the website. She just needs a reference point really quick.
Right.
I'm trying to help our staff so that they don't have to re-input all this stuff on the Comm form.
Mm-hmm. So let me go to, oh man, wow, these pages are, okay, registration, internal events, event form and templates, okay. So, if I go to this one, oh, that's weird, yeah. What is it URL? Event item ID 55. That's a bummer. So it's not actually linking the occurrence, but the occurrence has the registration link to it because there's the, okay, well, now we're really going to freak out. None of these are set. Okay.
Am I going to need to do that for all of them?
Yeah. For the calendars. So this one now will work. So the calendars link to the registration. So that's really weird. It just doesn't link back the right way. Okay. How could we accomplish this? We could, if you guys wanted to make it easy, I could add a button somewhere on the top of.
Well, let me ask you this, because this might come into another play here.
Yeah.
When you, well, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I might get us to
okay. No.
Well, so one of the issues too that's happening on the event wizard. So go to click on the specialized event wizard, for instance, and then go ahead and use re-engage close group, do Anderson, and go ahead and click next.
Okay.
So the slug. I need to have a slug URL, kind of like a icon like we had for the one on the event registration, that gives people kind of an idea of what to say for the slug.
Right.
Is that possible to put some sort of HTML on there or something?
We could have.
Because the reason that I asked is that if you can add things here,
Yeah.
then when it gets completed, could you also add something else similar like that? I mean, I know they're two totally different things, but it's still kind of the same concept.
So we could launch, you can launch a completion workflow off of the wizard. So if you wanted, when they hit submit, all the information could be compiled and sent to your comms team through a workflow. Just
done. Let's do that. That's what we need to do. We need to make that workflow. So you know how what we made before, which is what Kirby gets?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
But Kirby does need to know the location and the, like right now she got, well, right now what she did is she gets that link. She gets that, which really technically we might need to change the event registration form now for what Comm gets, because we weren't able to see the location and the day and that actually the event was happening.
Okay.
And I thought all that stuff was in there.
Okay. So you want to add event date details, location. Okay, I'll clean that email up then. Maybe add more. I'll add more information. The more information, the better.
I mean, I think she still needs to have she still needs to have the link to the event instance so that she can change the slug if she doesn't like the way that the staff put the slug in there. I mean, it'd be nice to not even have the staff do it, but there's going to be some staff that just will be able to do it because they're smart, but there's other people that just won't.
Right.
But Kirby does need to have a link reference to that so that she can be able to go in and change the slug. That's the first thing. The second thing is, where is this located? So whatever is in the calendar event, if you were able to reference the exact calendar, what you were just showing a minute ago, then wouldn't she technically have everything that she needs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll make sure she has all in both emails, the one that we'll make to launch off of this and the one from that form. I'll make sure she has the link to the calendar item and as much detail, all the details that are getting built onto the calendar item in the email. So
yes,
we'll have
and I think if you could also, if that goes to Kirby, if you could also make that so that it also is CC'd to the person that actually created the wizard so they know that it went to her as well. Is that possible?
Yeah, I could have them both receive it, yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens if Kirby gets hit by a truck for a week and now she stops getting it? What do we do then? Is this a workflow where we can easily change the person that's getting it?
Yeah, so I'll show you in the workflow that I built for all this, which does that live under samples or?
I think it's under testing.
Oh, and
then you've got a special folder.
This big kahuna in the comms complete. So this is notifying whoever you select in that attribute. So you could change that attribute when you submit it, right? Because you're selecting that. So if she got hit by a bus, you just start selecting a different person, right?
Well, right now, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because I think in your approval form, which is in the activity above, in this, you get to select whoever you want. Yeah, it's editable. So you could change that to be Tina or someone else if Kirby got hit by a bus.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's dynamic. It's not going to Kirby specifically. It's going to whoever you choose as the communication staff person on your approval form.
So how would that work for this event wizard, because we're not choosing the comm worker?
Well, what I'll do is this action will live in that workflow, and I'll have her email built in right here. So then you would just have to go in and change whoever this send to email is. So this is just like you type in something that's not your email, but you type in someone's email and then you save it, and then you just come in here and change it to someone else.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do that, and I will get back to her. Let's see. Holy cow. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right, Morgan is awesome. Oh, no, that's not what I was writing. Morgan is making a workflow. Oh my gosh, there's so many freaking workflows. How do you keep all these things organized?
I know. That's sometimes when you have me go back to an old one, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did that work?
So with that being said, should we create a folder? Should I create a folder called events, workflows, and put that in here?
Yeah, if that makes sense to you guys, however you want to organize it. Yeah.
Okay, so I might do that for this one. Let me just write some notes.
Move them out of the testing.
Morgan is making a workflow that is going to email Kirby after a wizard is completed. I think what would be helpful for me, and I'm gonna put next step here, if you wouldn't mind, because this event one is a super complicated one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put at Morgan, and I'll just pay you for your time for this. But could you just make a simple video that just gives an overview of everything on the workflow for that one that you made? Like, this is where this is, and just kind of that one step that you're talking about.
Yeah. Yes, I can do that.
All right, so we've got Morgan is making a workflow that's and this is a workflow that's gonna email after the event was completed. Morgan is fixing the current event registration form. Well, you're not doing anything to the current event registration form. It's already doing it. No, you're adding calendar.
I'll modify the email a little so she has some more deets. More information.
Hold on one second. Tina's asking me something. Tina, she's testing Twilio, and she's like, "Answer me right now." Tina, man, I got to do what she says. She's fiery. I like to be on her good side. Yeah. Okay, so are you doing anything to the event registration form? No.
Just modifying the communication staff email, just to give it a little more information, but nothing else.
Including calendar. Calendar. Okay, that's great. Bam. Okay, so this is number one. All right, we're getting close. I'm almost done, Morgan, and then you can be gone if you want to. All right. Number one, and then this is number two. Okay, good. All right, so let's talk about the next thing I want to talk about is the discovery response card. This was awesome because I think I actually had a dream about this the other day that we launched without it, and I about lost my dang mind. And then like I woke up and it was done in my inbox, and it was like, this is amazing. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this, just understanding the workflow in general. What I went ahead and did, if we go to a person's record like Chris Rivers' record, I went ahead and on the actions added a discovery response card. So let's go ahead and click that real quick. Okay. Now I do see that, I don't know if you had an address on there. I don't think it was pulling my address. So I don't know if there's this is how I envision our staff using it really. So staff go to discovery class and then they're filling out this paper document. Yeah. And you know, I would really love to do it a whole different way, but this is how we're going to launch with it right now. They're going to take this paper, they're going to give it to the admins are going to fill this out, and this is how they would do that. So can we make sure that the address pulls?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to just...
I'm slightly worried as I'm looking at this that it's not actually autofilling the person whose profile you're on, but I think it might be autofilling the person who's logged in. So I'll verify that when I add the address autofill, but
yep. Okay, so on that one project, I'm just adding a couple notes. Need to make sure the address pulls. The next thing is, let me open this up again. I see phone number, email, campus, and I'm assuming date of birth and marital status. That will all update the person's record when that gets filled out too, correct?
Yes, marital status. Yeah, update. I'm going to double check this. I'm putting this in my notes. Update person profile. Yeah, okay.
Now, that if you have any children, what life stage are they in? Where is that data going?
Yeah, so I mean, there's no way for me to like build a kid out of that. That's one of the questions that's asked on the forum. So all I have this stuff doing is updating attributes on the persons that match these questions. So there's a set of attributes I created to go with this. You guys had some of them, but you didn't have all of them. So you would just need to add a block. Let me just do this real quick so you can see.
Since this would, I don't know. Okay, so let's think about this before you put this here, because this is awesome, and I want to think about this. Tina might have another idea, but we have a place called applications, right? It's on the person's record.
Yeah.
Do you think that this would be better on the application because it's a response card, but
Yeah,
applications is so many things.
If that's how you guys are organizing it, then that probably
Well, let's just add it there for right now, and then I can have Tina, move it later if she doesn't like it.
Yeah, this is easy to shuffle about. So, and then we'll do discovery. So discovery. Okay. So this has all the matching attributes from that form. So it'll autofill all of these when they fill that.
Perfect. Can you call that discovery response card instead? Yeah. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Sorry, since you were just right there and you were messing with it.
Discovery. So you want it to be discovery response card.
Yeah.
Icon you want with that? I don't know what discovery icon would be. Compass?
I mean, I don't even know.
I don't know. You can.
Great. Sure. Play with it. That's great.
Anyway, so yeah, now you've got a little discovery response card.
Perfect. Okay. So my next question is upcoming opportunities you're interested. So if they click on foundations, that creates a connections. Is that correct?
Yes. So these attributes right here will build out either foundations, men's, women's, or this one. Let me verify which one I have that being built out as, because I did do that one. Where the actual heck did I put this? So many folders, so many places. Oh yeah,
I think you put it under there. Yeah.
Yeah. Discovery response card. Let's see. Process form. It's building. Oh, maybe I don't have that one building one. Yeah. What do you want that one to be built as? Let's see. I have foundation.
Well, we have. Let me go in here real quick and see. So under discipleship opportunities, we have a Azare and MemRT underneath discipleship opportunities. And then under membership processes, we do have a foundations and a group and a discovery. So
okay.
So looking at this, like I know you took the exact thing. So if they're interested in foundations, then yes, that would go to foundations. Men's groups
goes women's goes to
men's. Women's goes with more information about serving opportunities. Oh, okay, that's what you were asking about. Let's go to serving.
That one. So
that's a good question. I wonder if we need to create what about other?
So yeah, is there a serving opportunity?
There's one under serving opportunities called other.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that one. Other. Okay.
And then I'm assuming when they fill this out and it gets, does some of that information come? Does it say that it came from a discovery response card?
It doesn't. We could add that.
Yeah, that would be helpful because I think in the comment section, if it said, I mean, and I don't know if I need to ask Eddie, but Eddie created a workflow for interest form that said interest form : and then it said the things. But I mean, if it even just said, discovery response card.
Yeah, I can add that. I can add whatever you want in the comment.
Yeah, so let's just add that this came from a discovery response card.
Okay.
That this connections request was created from a discovery response card.
Okay. Was created from a discovery response card. Okay, I will add that. So I did have a question on this one. So if they put something in the I'd love to speak with someone regarding field, do you want that to build a connection, like a contact connection? That's what I currently have it doing because I wasn't sure what you wanted to happen with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So where is that question? That's the last one that says I'd love to speak to someone about regarding. Yeah. So I would want, whoa, somebody's messing with rock. It's all blue.
Oh, I think it's because the styling from that form, there was some, I copied it from another form. So it's like using your external website styling. So I'll change it so it doesn't mess things up.
Okay, let me figure out membership processes. Discipleship opportunities.
Because yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Let me think about this. If they choose,
So the way that the workflow is currently handling it, because again, I wasn't sure what you wanted me to do with it, is if there is something in that field, because there may not be, then it's building out a contact connection and putting all those details in the notes.
could they go to, gosh, I don't want to, I almost want to do future follow-up, but I don't know. That the future follow-up doesn't have connectors because we built it specifically for anyone to do that. I wonder if with serving opportunities, we have something called other. I wonder if I just need to make something in membership. What about in membership processes, there's a contact us.
Okay.
Could we just put it there?
Yes. Let me change it.
And then if they,
that's what I used. What?
Okay, great.
I
Awesome.
was thinking the same thing apparently when I built this. I thought I just used like a general. Anyways, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
So then, if I had chosen Powdersville,
Yep.
and would the whoever the default connector for Powdersville for contact us would get it?
Yep. That is, and I'll make sure that one adds in the comment from a discovery connection. So they'll all have that note. But it also will add, this one specifically adds the field I would love to speak with someone regarding. So
perfect. That's great. Yeah, and then they can assign and transfer and stuff like that. Okay, great. Okay, well, why don't you wrap that up and then let me know when that's done and I can test it or I can start playing around with it. I'd like to give it to the admin so they can see how it works.
Yeah. I will make those last couple modifications. So this will take a sec.
Okay, I figured out what it is. I figured out what the baptism was. So let's talk about that. So why is this page showing that 9 individual people representing 11 background checks, and then it's not matching this page? So that's what we were trying to figure out. Why is this page, the first one I sent, there are 9 individuals, people representing 11 background checks, and then that's not matching the other one that I just shared with you? Those were the confusions that we were having. What's the difference?
So the workflow page that has like 67 things versus this one. So this is currently showing you, let's see.
The first one I sent you?
Yeah, the first one is, okay. So like this Finn Rivers is expired. It's like missing all the February one. Was there not any in February? So like this one, okay. So the workflow one, some of these are not associated with people. So like none of these are attached to a person. So if it says, okay, let me backtrack. All of these that say initial entry were never submitted. So there's no actual background check associated with any of them that are in this initial entry, initial request phase. What this is someone clicked on to start a background check, but never actually submitted one. So if you filter this to look at a status text, well, I can't filter out one specific status text. Let me sort then. So these ones right here that say completed. Did it not sort them? Oh, okay. Great. All right. Well, that doesn't really work because let me sort by activity. I can't. So any of the ones that say invitation expired or waiting for submit approval, those are going to match up with the ones on this list. But anything with this initial entry is not actually associated with a background check. Because if you click in here, it's going to take me to actually hit submit because it was never submitted. Does that make sense?
I think so. So then that was the first page. That was the first page /535.
Yeah.
The other one is showing, is that just showing the people?
This is straight out of Checkr. So this is the same dashboard that is in Checkr. So these are actual background checks that have been submitted and we're waiting to hear back from them, or they've come back or they've expired. This one is showing you the workflows and their state of processing. So if it hasn't been submitted, then it's not going to be in Checkr. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So then the one that's page /535, that's what you're saying is the dashboard for Checkr?
Yes. Yep. So this is straight out of Checkr.
So then I guess what the problem that we had was Lisa Urban. If you go to Lisa Urban's record, you'll see that she has a pending background check, but she actually got an email that said, hey, you're finished. Here's the copy of your background check.
Yeah. So I think we talked about this last week, but that happened because, okay, so you sent a background check to her and she completed it. And so it updated all the information on her profile. But since someone started a second background check after that, so this one came next, the workflow, when you submit a new background check, the workflow goes and changes her status to pending until that one comes back.
Gotcha. I remember that.
As long as you're submitting a second one, a couple days after she completes one, you're not going to have that issue.
Yeah. So what is the point? So what is the point of page /535, and why do I need to go to it? And what's the point of the other link, and why do I need to go to it?
So 535 is basically just the Checkr background dashboard in your Rock instance. So this makes it so you don't have to log into Checkr to go find this information. So that's what the purpose of this.
Hold on, let me write that down. This is the Checkr. So I don't log in and out of Checkr. Okay.
Because on 535, the gear,
I get it. So then the other one, the workflow type ID equals 22. What is the point of this one? That's the one that had you were mentioning the initial entries. Did I lose you? You there?
it muted me. Oh no, when I plugged my computer in, it tried to connect to my headphones, so I lost all the audio.
Oh, no worries. Do you hear me? Do you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. No worries. I lost you there for a second, so no biggie.
Okay, what was the last thing you heard?
So,
we were talking about
the first one was page 35. This, you said that was the Checkr dashboard, so I don't have to log in and out of Checkr, which is great.
Okay.
The other one you were mentioning, those are the ones with initial entry that's just clicked and never submitted. So is this just, why do I want to go here to this page?
Yeah, so you actually don't need to, like, you really don't need to go to this page, because this Checkr dashboard page, if you click on this gear, it links you to the workflow instance that was submitted. Okay. So, which is what this is a list of, right? This is a list of all the workflow instances. So if I click here, I'm on the same page. So that Checkr dashboard links you to the correct instance on that page. So it connects all that. But if you really needed to see like a background check that wasn't submitted or something, which I don't know why you would need to, you could go to this page to see that. Okay, so is everything working for us, you think? Does everything look like it's working? Okay. Yeah, I don't see any. I did maybe in the audio mess, I fixed so that gear would actually work. The page wasn't set up right, but now you're good. So. Okay, all right, Morgan. I'm just writing some notes here. You're good. Okay, all right. Okay, so let me see if I can think of anything else. I feel like you got that. Let me insert. Strike through there. FTF, full first time check. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you remember the last time we talked a little bit about the first time family check-in, and if there was a way to think through that. Do you remember that conversation? I had a couple first time conversations with you and Tina. So refresh me. This one was a when a family checks in, if they went into the person that is the one actually doing the check-in. Oh, you're talking about in the connection for one person versus 5, and yes. Okay. And then if you were to look at all those people that actually came for the first time, that there would be some sort of badge on their record or something that would indicate that they were first time, but that they were not the actual person. Like, you'd know which one of the family members was the actual person. Right, right. So when I think I have a question for your question. When you guys are registering first families to check in, are they going to be adding the adults and the kids at the time of check-in? When you do first time get families, wouldn't you do that on the you'd search? You would search, right? And then you wouldn't see them. And so you go add them and you go add everybody. Well, it depends. So I know I talked to Tina about this because, like, at my old church, we did not add adults at the time to speed things up. We had families fill out a card and we added kids, and then our staff went in later and added the parents and set the family up and did whatever they needed to do with building out connections and things like that. So I think it depends on what your process looks like, because if you're building out the adults, then yeah, you could have a workflow launch off of connection that builds the connection on the adult. And then you could have a badge that gets triggered on profiles that says, if one member of the family has X connection, light up this badge, right? Yep. So you could do that, but I think it depends on if it does depend on if your adults are being added or not. Now, you could, if the adults aren't being added, you could have the workflow build the connection on one of the children and then have the badge light up on the other kids. So you still only have one connection for the family, but it gets built on one of the kids. Yeah, I think what I'm trying to help happen is that the Rivers come to grace, and maybe we just need to tell them that they do add family. It doesn't matter if we don't do it now. We would just tell them what they need to do. Right. But if they had everybody, we want to make sure that there was a way to indicate who the follow-up person was going to be. Right. Because we want to follow up with that family. Yeah. How do you guys do that now? How do y'all follow up with first-timers? Yeah, so we have reports that are run for families added on Sunday. And they, every Monday, look at that report, and then they do follow-up calls and things like that. But you could have a connection get built that essentially is the same kind of thing, right? So
yeah. Okay, well, let me get back to them on that this is possible.
and it's possible either way. It's just, would the connection be built on a kid or an adult? And if they're adding the adults on Monday, like, or later, then they could even just build the connection right there off of their profile, and it would trigger the badge. So it would work either way. It's just, is the connection getting built on Sunday or Monday, essentially? Right.
Yep. I'm just making a note here. Okay, hold on one second. Man, I feel like that's all, and that's not fair. I want to build more things with you.
I feel like that was a lot. We covered a lot of ground.
Did we really? I feel like we were just scratching the surface.
Well, I mean, I'm sure.
Okay, I have a question for you. If you go to, and I don't know what's wrong, but you're like frozen, so maybe it's me or I don't know.
Oh no.
If you could go to Rock and click on the main page.
Here.
Yep, and then scroll down to the bottom a little bit where you see event registration. Okay, you're not following any event registrations. I don't know. I'm following a ton of them, but for some reason, when I click on one of the event registrations that I follow, it says we can't find that page.
Okay. Oh, right here. So, I'm not working. So it needs to be this. Slash page. Let's see. Does that, if you refresh your page now, does it work for you?
Let's see here. Yep, it took me to it. Perfect. All right. Okay. I've got one other question, and this goes back to the event templates.
Okay.
But I think I've done all this right. If you go to event templates and go to the specialized event templates, and then click on re-engage arrow and click on the re-engage closed group template. Okay. So click on edit. And I made this, if you click on details, I set the cost on this template to be the instance, which is what you told me to do. Yep. And I put the test gateway for right now. Okay. And then in the fees, I have that special thing because we want to be able to give people the chance to, not have to pay if we don't want to pay. So click cancel and go to Event Wizard and click on, let's see, we're on the re-engage closing template. So go to the specialized event wizard and click on closed, the template for re-engage closed group template. And just go to Anderson. What is going to happen next with the cost and the emission? Do I just tell them to put 00 in there? Yep. Because it's going to use the template for $50?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. And then the account, this is the other thing that I'm kind of a little, so with the account, if you click the drop down arrow, I'm assuming that like we have GL codes for all of our staff. So like, finance, like, would we have a folder structure in here that has like GL code, which would be for current team, and GL code for this, and that's what they would choose?
Yeah, so you can also set on that block the default account for it to use. So if everyone who is doing specialized groups has one default account, you could set that account in here. So like you could set.
But yeah, these are kind of like all over the board.
So then, yeah, you would want to make sure your accounts are organized well for them to be able to find things.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Then I just need to create a fold. I just need to have that really organized. Okay. And then let's see next. Okay. I think that was what I was going to say. So I'm doing the instances right and all that stuff. We're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
All right. Keep at it then. Okay. All right. That's all I got for today.
All right, cool.
I hope I didn't exhaust you too much.
No, you're good.
Can we do this again next week?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. I'll send you something in here. Morgan and Chris catch up. And then that'll be a week before we get ready. So if there's something else that I can think of that's going to be, I don't know, we might need to use that time. I don't know what we're going to use that time for, but I'll figure something out with you. But if anything, it'll be just to help me kind of clean up some stuff.
Okay.
I think that's all I've got today. Oh yeah, I did have a question. Are you guys using projects?
Yeah, right now we're using it for our ticketing system for IT and building maintenance and worship tech.
Okay. I think I'll wait to talk about that another day. I'm done.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Give your brain a break.
If I did this every day, all day, I think I would be in trouble. So it's good to have little sections. Do you feel like I know that I've given you you did the discovery. I just keep putting in projects. I'll keep assigning you stuff, updating things, and then if anything else, you kind of know what's going on.
Yeah. So like I said, I've been working through Podio stuff unless you assign me a project that has like more priority, like the discovery part or things like that. So I'll work through the notes I have from the various things today, and then I'll just go back into Podio and knock it out Podio stuff. So.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Happy to help. Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
Bye.